Today we will be making these cute pot and cup holders, so crochet hooks at the ready and let's get going. Now for this design you are going to need different colours of decayed cotton yarn. It has to be cotton because we're going to be putting hot things on top of it, and if we use acrylic or wool yarn it'll melt. We also need a 4mm hook, a set of embroidery needles and a pair of scissors. So I'm going to begin with my purple cotton yarn, and I'm going to slip knot onto my hook, and then I'm going to chain 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch into the first chain that we made to join into a circle. I'm now going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet, and then I'm going to do a further 11 double crochets into this ring. So at the end of this round we will have a total of 12 double crochets. And once I've finished my 12 double crochets, I'm going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we made at the very beginning, and then I can chain 1 and fasten off. So I'm going to finish with my purple yarn, and that is round 1 complete. For round 2 I'm going to introduce my next colour, and I am using this teal. So I'm going to do a slip knot onto my hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the top of any of the double crochets beneath, yarn over, pull through, and then slip stitch straight through the hook, through the loop on the hook. And now my colour's joined. Now I'm going to chain 3, which again will count as a double crochet, and then I'm going to do another double crochet into that same stitch that we've just chained 3 from, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets into every stitch all the way around. So at the end of this round we will have 24 double crochets. And after my 24 double crochets I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from the very beginning, chain 1 and fasten off, and that is the end of round 2. For round 3 I'm going to begin by joining this pink yarn. So I'm going to attach it into any of the double crochets from beneath, insert my hook, having a fiddle, yarn over, pull through and pull straight through the loop on my hook. Now I'm going to chain 3, which will count as our first double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3, and then into the next 2 stitches I'm going to do 2 double crochets into each stitch. So 1 and 2 into the first stitch, 1 and 2 into the second stitch. Let's do that one again, 2 into the second stitch, and that is our pattern repeat, and we are going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 2 double crochets into the second stitch and 2 double crochets into the third stitch. And at the end of this round I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we made at the very beginning of this round, and then I can fasten off with this colour, and that is the end of round 3. For round 4 I'm going to rejoin the purple yarn. So rejoining the top of any double crochet from beneath, I'm going to attach it as I have done before, and then I'm going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Now into that same stitch I'm going to do another double crochet, so there are 2 double crochets into the first stitch. And now I can begin my pattern repeat. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2 and 3, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochets into the following stitch, and I'm going to repeat that all the way around until the last 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet into 3 stitches, and then 2 double crochet into the following stitch. So I'm now at the last 3 stitches of this round, and I'm just going to do 1 double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. And then I can fasten off like I have before by doing a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we made from the beginning of the round, and we can fasten off with this colour. And that will be the end of round 4. To begin round 5, I'm going to attach a new colour. And then I'm going to chain 3, and this will count as a double crochet. Now into that same stitch I'm going to do another double crochet, so in this one stitch we'll have 2 double crochets. We can then begin our pattern repeat. So for our pattern repeat I'm going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, so 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So that's 2, 3 and 4. And then into the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets, and that is the pattern repeat. So we are going to do that all the way around until the last 4 stitches. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the following stitch, all the way around until the last 4 stitches. I am now at the last 4 stitches of this round, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of these stitches, and then I can slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of this round to join and fasten off. And that is the end of round 5. Now on to round 6. So I'm going to attach a new colour as normal. And then I'm going to chain 3, which will count as our first double crochet. And into that same chain space, I'm going to do another double crochet. So there are 2 double crochets in our first stitch. Now we can start our pattern repeat. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And into the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets all into the same stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way around until the last 5 stitches of this round. And when I get to the last 5 stitches of this round, I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of them, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we made from the beginning of the round and fasten off with this colour. And that is the end of round 6. So I'm now up to round 7 and the final increase round. So I'm adding the next colour, which is this pink, and then I'm going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet as normal. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Then I'm going to do 1 double crochet into that same stitch, so we have 2 double crochets in the first stitch of this round. Then we can begin our pattern repeat. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches, so that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And into the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around to the last 6 stitches. Then when you get to the last 6 stitches of this round, you're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the stitches, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you made from the beginning of this round, join and fasten off, and then you are finished with this colour, and that is the end of round 6. Next we will be making our shell border, so to make sure the edges of our work are nice and neat, I'm going to do a row or a round of single crochet. So I'm just attaching my next colour, which is the purple, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So I'm not increasing in this round, I'm just doing a simple single crochet all the way around. And when I get to the last stitch of this round, I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we did to join, but I'm not going to fasten off because we are going to use this same colour to make the shell border. To make my shell border, the first thing we're going to do is skip the first stitch, and into the second stitch of this round I'm going to do 5 double crochets. So 5 double crochets all into the second stitch of this round. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to skip the next stitch, and into the stitch after that I'm going to do a slip stitch. And there is our first shell, and I'm going to repeat that all the way around. So I'm going to skip the next stitch, and into the following stitch after that I'm going to do another 5 double crochets. 5 double crochets all into the same stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to skip the next stitch and do a slip stitch into the following stitch. I'm just completing the last shell on the last round. And after the slip stitch, I'm going to chain 20 because I want to create a little loop so that we can hang our pot holder up if that's what we want to use it for. So I'm going to do a chain of 20. And then I'm going to slip stitch back into the same stitch that we made our chains from. And I can join and fasten off. And now we have to weave in all the ends at the back of this work. Now if you were clever you might have weaved these in as you went, but I didn't because I'm lazy and I hate weaving in ends, so now I have to do them all at once. So I'm going to pick up a strand at a time and add it to my embroidery needle. And I think I'm going to start from the centre. Yep, the centre one. And then I'm going to weave this piece of yarn through a couple of stitches, pull tight and trim, and I'm going to do that to each of these end pieces. And after you've finished weaving in all your ends, there is your finished pot holder. So just go away and give it a nice iron, make sure it's nice and neat, and then it's ready for use. So you could also use these for things like plate holders or plate mats, or to put anything warm on top of it because the cotton will withstand the heat. So I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for 1 million virtual hooks. And other than that, have a lovely day and I will see you in the next one. Bye now!